When you turn 65, something beautiful will happen to your CPF because that's when you start receiving a monthly payout. And all this is possible due to something called CPF LIFE, short for Lifelong Income for the Elderly. Basically, CPF LIFE is a life annuity scheme where it gives you a monthly payout for your entire life. And when you pass away, CPF will then hand over the remaining balance to your loved ones. There are 3 CPF life plans that we can choose from, and depending on which we choose, it will have a different money payout and a different leftover amount to our loved ones. So which is the best plan so we can take the most money from the government, I mean have the highest payout for us and our loved ones? In this video, we will be analyzing which CPF life plan gives us the best value, and I will also share some tips and tricks on CPF Life. Alright, let's first start with how CPF Life works. CPF Life is available to anyone who's either a Singapore citizen or PR. Basically, anyone who has a CPF account born in 1958 or after, and you will need to have at least 60k in your CPF retirement account when you start your monthly payouts. Just in case you are unaware, when you turn 55, CPF will create a CPF retirement account for you. Then it will transfer some of the money from OA and SA to form your retirement account. The amount that will be transferred is up to the full retirement sum, which increases every year. The money in your CPF retirement account will then be used to join the CPF Life. And of course, the more money you have in your RA, the higher the payout will be. There's no fixed method to know what will be your payout, as the payouts are determined based on your gender, age, CPF interest rates, and mortality rates. You can choose to receive the payout anytime from 65 to 70 years old. But if you don't do anything, the default payout will start at 70 years old. Then people be like, "Aiyo, why default to 70 years old? Work until apek liao, you still want to keep my money, is it?" Okay, I won't talk too much about this, as there are already a few articles that address this issue. But in general, it's actually better to defer the payout, as for every year you defer, there's an up to 7% increase in payouts. So, for example, if you were to start receiving payouts at 65 years old, you will receive $1,640 a month. But by deferring 5 years, the payouts would increase by about 35% to $2,190 per month. What? So that's the basic idea of how CPF Life works. Now, as mentioned earlier, there are 3 CPF Life plans that you can choose from. If you don't choose a plan, the default plan would be the standard plan. This plan pays you a higher monthly payout while leaving less money for your loved ones. Or if you choose the basic plan, you will have a lower monthly payout, but your loved ones will get more money. And lastly, the escalating plan starts off at a lower amount, but increases the payout by 2% every year. Hey, this is super weak leh. Show us some numbers leh. Unfortunately, the new CPF Life Estimator doesn't let me show too many numbers. So here's a chart from the old CPF Life Estimator. You can ignore the numbers on the side because they are not important for now. Here, you can see that the standard life plan has the highest payout at the start, while the basic plan always gives a lower payout, and the escalating plan starts off at a lower amount, but slowly increases its payout every year until it overtakes all the other plans by 77 years old. So, which is the best plan? For most people, when they see this chart, they will immediately go for the standard plan because it would give the highest payout at the start, right? They wouldn't go for the basic plan because who cares about passing money to the loved ones? There's not enough money, their problem lor. And the escalating plan doesn't sound good either. You think I can live till 100 years old meh? Want so much payout for what? What if I die tomorrow? Hence, the most logical plan to go for would be the standard plan, right? It depends, because this is only half of the story. If we want to get the most value, we will also need to look at how much money is being passed on to our loved ones when we pass away. Or a more cheap word is bequest. So let's look at the bequest chart. The difference is very clear here. The basic plan has the highest bequest amount, and it lasts a lot longer compared to all the other plans. That's because the basic plan has a lower payout, while both the standard plan and the escalating plan have a lower bequest amount. Quick pause. Here are 4 reasons to sign up to Moomoo Singapore. 1. You can easily keep track of company's news and announcements within the app. 2. Moomoo lets you easily analyze the company from both the technicals and fundamentals to help you make better decisions when investing in the company. 3. They have an active community where you can discuss stocks and investments with one another. And last but not least, they have further upgraded their latest promotion. For the first reward, when you deposit $100, you will get a $2 cashback daily for 10 days. Then, for the second reward, deposit $2K and perform 2 buy trades to get a free Coca-Cola stock worth around $80. And the ultimate reward, deposit $10,000 and perform 7 buy trades to get a $108 cash coupon. So, if you want to earn these rewards, you can sign up to Moomoo Singapore using my link down below. With that being said, let's get back to the video. So, which plan gives the most value? Check out this chart by investment modes, where he calculates the total payout and the total bequest amount that you will receive depending on when you pass away. You can see that at age 65, the total amount for all plans are about the same. Then, from 70 to 85 years old, the basic plan has the highest value. And the difference in value between the plans is actually quite huge. For example, if you look at 80 years old, the basic plan is giving 385k, which is a lot higher than the standard plan and escalating plan, which is just giving around 266k. That's a 123k difference. However, because the escalating plan keeps increasing, from 90 years old onwards, the escalating plan ends up with the highest value. So, back to the payout chart that I showed you earlier. By choosing the standard plan, yes, you will receive a higher payout. But if you look closer, the difference in payouts between the standard plan and the basic plan is only like $100 to $200. Now, of course, if you are not earning much, this $100 to $200 is very important. But if you have a ton of savings and are well prepared for retirement, this extra money will not make a big difference in your life. Sure, with an extra $100 a month, you will get to take 3 to 4 Grab rides, or buy more Chai Fan with fish, or buy one more Tesla stock, or whatever. But ultimately, it's not a life-changing amount. So, if you don't need that additional $100 to $200 payouts, you could choose the basic plan, which will give you a much higher bequest amount. Oh, sorry, not you. Give your loved ones a much higher bequest amount. But what about the escalating plan? After all, it gives the highest value after 90 years old. Okay, let's look at some data to tell whether it's worth it or not. According to the Department of Statistics, the average life expectancy of Singaporeans is about 83.5 years old. But that's the life expectancy rate at birth, which may not be so useful to us because we might pass away before we even start to receive CPF payouts. Who knows? So it's better to look at the life expectancy at age 65. In this case, it's 21.2 years old. Meaning, out of 100 people who live till 65 years old, on average, most people will live till 83 years old. If that is the case, the basic plan will give the highest value for most people. But of course, if you are super healthy, you exercise every day, brush teeth with bird nest, and drink ginseng tea for breakfast, then maybe you will live till 100 years old. In that case, the escalating plan will give you the highest value. So that was a quick analysis of how CPF Life works. Now, here are some things you have to know about CPF Life. First, whatever interest that you earn on CPF Life will not be paid out to your loved ones. See, CPF really wants to take our money. Okay, it's not because they want to take our money or anything. The reason they are doing this is to ensure other CPF Life members will continue to get monthly payouts for as long as they live. So, if you really want to earn the interest on CPF Life, you better try to live as long as you can. Optimally, if you really want to squeeze out everything from CPF Life, for the standard and escalating plan, you will need to live till at least 81 or 82 years old. And for the basic plan, you will need to live till at least 91 years old, Because anything after that, your CPF Life amount will drop to 0 and you'll be paid with the money pulled from CPF Life. But even if you pass away early, don't worry because as Dollars and Cents pointed out, the total value that you will get will always be more than the principal amount that you put in. Second, you can actually opt out from joining CPF Life. And yes, there's a catch. In order to opt out, you need to have an existing private annuity scheme or pension scheme that can replace CPF Life. And if the annuity or pension scheme meets the CPF payout benchmarks, you can actually withdraw everything from CPF Life. Though, because of how high the number is, it's incredibly hard to meet the benchmark. So, probably the best scheme that we have right now is still the CPF Life scheme. Third, you can increase the payout amount. The first way is to defer the payouts to start at 70 years old. Or you can top up to your retirement account up to the enhanced retirement sum. And pro tip, you can still top up even after CPF Life has started the payouts. Or if you still feel that the payout is not high enough, CPF lets you monetize your property either through the Silver Housing Bonus scheme or the lease buyback scheme. Finally, once you have chosen the CPF Life plan that you want, you won't be able to change your plan anymore. However, if you change your mind within 30 days of joining the scheme, you can actually change your plan. Though, according to CPF, if you are on the old CPF Life plan, like the basic balance plus or income plan, you can switch to either the escalating or the standard plan before 80 years old. So, those were some of the things that you need to know about CPF Life. Hopefully, you find it useful. Like, share and subscribe as I'll be posting new videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday.